This is a good steak sandwich.
Ooh.
Steak tips, grilled onions, American cheese. No nonsense.
But I like nonsense.
No nonsense. Well, let's get started. I think we've got everything good.
Hang on, I need to be a strong guy and open a bottle of ketchup for my wife.
Well
And on
delayed
that
topics.
note, hello everyone, and welcome to the DVD Strongman Podcast.
Mmm,
We do a podcast?
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Occasionally.
Surprise, yeah. Only sometimes. But we're doing one now, so that helps. How has everyone been?
Been doing fantastic.
Life is insanity. Don't do grad school.
That's my
Yeah.
response.
I'm not doing grad school, but life is still insane.
Yeah, back in May, my company of 6 people was bought out by a bigger company, and then just 2, 3 weeks ago, my bigger company was bought out by an even bigger company. So we haven't even fully transitioned from one to the other, and we're already going
Let's
to a new one.
go.
There's always a bigger fish.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
I do believe that this is my topic week.
it is
You say weak.
month
Year.
Episode.
episode. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Doesn't episode imply episodic? I guess that doesn't have to be on a regularly scheduled basis.
No, you can. Yeah, it's just an episode. It's just the next segment of it. So.
I was thinking of periodical. That's not.
Mm,
That is not what this is.
yeah,
Anyway,
no, no. It is. It is clearly not. But we're
actually,
back.
episodic would be the perfect term for us, containing
It
or
would be.
consisting of a series of loosely connected parts or events.
oh yeah, we are very loosely connected.
And we are
Actually, my
parts
my
and
my
events.
body is not loosely connected. It's very tight.
So,
Don't say that.
I can say
all
what I
right.
want.
That's so funny.
In preparation of this episode, just about 35 days ago, when I began preparing for this episode, I reached out to our fellow Top 5 podcast, and I asked them a question, which I will ask you guys after giving their answers. But the question I asked them was, in their rookie year, by the end of the season, what did they feel like their biggest accomplishment was? It could be stat wise, social, no wrong answer, subjective type stuff. And so I asked each of the top 5, Dayman, Stupido, Chalk, Leo, and Griff, and I have their responses. Would you like to hear them?
Did you ask
Yes.
16-bit Ken Griffey?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I did.
we're ready for him.
All right. Well, in order of their draft, Dayman. His response was the Dayman Invitational Memorial All-Star Break game, which we just got to experience for the first time ourselves. But he said trying to appease the 21 to 19-year-olds that were left out of the Boomer Zoomer games, but still screwing over the 25-year-olds. That was his greatest accomplishment. Stupido gave me the response of becoming co-GM of Tampa, which allowed him to see the managerial side of the game, and working with Don Chalupa was a lot of fun. So shout out to Don Chalupa there. Chalk gave 2 responses, and they were a little bit long, as Chalk is
As
wont
Chalk
to
is wont
do.
to do.
But he said on the field, he hit like a max diff sack fly walk-off against Montreal, which was a division rival of theirs.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
He hit it off of Duck, who is a really good pitcher.
Ooh,
The time he was a sack master, so it was the thing he was designed to do, so doing it for the team was awesome.
he does love sacks.
And then off the field, during the playoff game that they lost, he scouted 2 back-to-back triples to get them either tied or a lead. He can't remember quite which it was, but it was based off of a trend, which was identified by Zand, so it wasn't all chalk, but scouting is never just one person. And he was pushing hard for it. The team trusted, and the results were amazing. His heart rate was in the 120s for that entire hour. So the perfect contrast to chalk is Leo. Leo's response was short and sweet. It was being part of the Top 5 podcast, making friends, hanging out with the people in the MLR community.
Short and sweet.
And then best Top 5 member and best answer was from Griff, was making the All-Star game in spite of an atrocious start to the season, because he started to get a feel for and adjust to the differences between the college game and MLR. So that was their responses, and I thought they were all pretty good. They were pretty personalized and individual to them, but you can see a lot of stuff in there that I'm assuming you guys would probably identify with as well. So let me pose the question to you guys. What, so far this season, do you feel like your biggest accomplishment has been? And what, by the end of the season, do you hope your biggest accomplishment will have been?
Oh, God.
And with that, I'm going to eat some French fries.
I mean, I can go.
Um,
I think I'm ready.
If you want to go, go. I think I need to out of all of the things I've done, which is not a lot. I really need to think about it.
So, one of my goals for the year was to be an above average hitter in MLR. That's all I wanted. And I don't know where I am now in terms of Raj War, but like halfway through our last game, I was 69th in Raj War amongst hitters. So,
Nice.
fairly happy about that.
Let's go.
I would say my other big one that I'm happy about is getting the ump bot update in to show final on the last step out of the game.
You
It
should be
bugged me
proud about that. That's so good.
It is very
That bugged
cool.
me for so long, all through college and all through like the first 8 weeks of the season, that it couldn't say final.
I am also very happy about that one.
So yeah, I think those are my big ones. That's getting to make that code update was fun. Getting to see all of the work that happens behind the scenes now too, and that server is super interesting. And they're much better at coding than I am. But
I was gonna say, from like a non-coding perspective, it's really interesting to because like when I first thought about the question, I'm like, okay, what are things I've done on the field, and then to like hear your answer, be like, I'm really proud of this thing I did that everyone will see all the time.
and it's
Very
you don't
cool.
realize how much they're doing in the background.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what they're doing whatsoever.
Just the tiniest peak in becoming an ump has made me never want to learn coding.
Right? There's so much stuff.
It has made me never want to become an ump. So
Let's just go. You're probably more qualified than any of us.
Yeah.
I like umping. I think it's really fun.
I am gonna like it more when I'm awake for most of it.
It's just every time there's a ping that shows up, I'm like, okay, I'm here, and then I go to it, and it's Dayman or Teddy within like 0.5 seconds are there, and I'm like, how are they so fast? Every single time, and I'm like, well, or when there's like a bot log error, I'm like, I'll let someone else handle this because it scares me.
We need to encourage them to like take some days off just entirely, except for like supervising the baby umps.
No Teddy Tuesday.
Hashtag no Teddy
That's not a bad idea. I find that I get plenty to do because I'll wake up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning, check my phone, and there'll be a ton of like substitution requests pending or like checking for autos. And so
And
I can like jam through a few of those right when I wake up.
ideally I would be doing those, but things.
Because and you've got like there's like John McDonald is I think he's 5 hours ahead of us, so around that time, so like that like 2 a.m. to like 6 a.m. Eastern is like his main time when he's around.
Mm-hmm.
God, what would my accomplishment be?
Do you want me to go next total? Do you need
If you
more
want to,
time?
sure, because I am still thinking about it.
So I did not hit well in college, obviously, and it's like, well, I'm gonna do better than that in the majors. Clearly, I'm gonna have a proper scouting room, and it's not gonna be just me. Um, I do still like do a significant chunk of Miami scouting, and I've put in a lot of work to our scouting sheets, but I can rely on other people to like scout their own at bats a lot of the time and provide scouting suggestions to other people, which has been really nice. But even though I had a pretty like miserable first couple games in the majors, you guys witnessed this, but I got really hot for 4 or 5 games straight, and by the midway point of the season, I think I was number one overall in Raj Ward pitchers and batters. And I'm still pretty high. I think I'm 19th overall right now. I was just looking at it a second ago. Yeah, 19th overall in WAR rankings, and I'm the second second best center fielder, right behind Griff, of course. I'm very proud of making the All-Star game.
Hell yeah.
Despite kind of like Griff, despite my bad start. Um, yeah, I mean, I've been performing really well. I'm really happy about that. I'm also extremely proud of my changes to our scouting sheets because I did put a lot of work into those things, and even though I can't really share them with anybody outside of my team, I'm very happy with what I've
You, you,
done.
you can show them to me. I'll keep them a secret, I
Oh yeah,
promise.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure.
Promise I wouldn't
I'm sure I
immediately hit
can.
make a copy.
Yeah.
Print screen, print screen.
No,
Um,
it's my scouting sheet is one of those things where like I don't even want to talk about the like uh talk about the changes that I've made because even just the ideas of the stuff that I've added, like people probably have those things on their sheets, but Peach did not have them on the Peach sheet prior to me getting a hold of it. So if Peach didn't have it going, there's a good chance that a lot of other people don't have it going.
I've learned some from like being on like multiple fake baseball teams because I've got my own sheet. There's a my MLN team has a sheet, and then we have our Oakland scouting too. And it's so much fun seeing like what people value more than others. Like some really like to look at pitches specifically. Some delta. Some like to look at their own swings and how a pitcher reacts to certain swings and stuff like that, which can make scouting really hard when you're trying to use all of those at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've found that uh, different pitchers have different patterns. I think we've probably already
Yeah,
talked about that a little bit, but
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's my answer.
Um, One of my things, because I hit fairly well when we were in FCB, which I was like, "Ooh, cool! I'm gonna do so well when I move up," and then I completely shit the bed for like the first 5 games. I was batting like 110 at some point, I
I
think.
think we had a podcast episode titled "We're All Terrible" right around
I
that
think we
time.
did,
So
yeah.
Yeah, that was when I was really good.
Yeah. But my main thing was I've always liked in like in real life baseball and in fake too, people that can just cause chaos when they're on base. And I think I think my b- batting average right now here, I think I'm batting like 280. But my OBP is insanely high compared to it. Okay, so I'm batting 273 and my OBP is 429. So our game right now against Anaheim, I think we've walked 9 times or 10 times. Um, and I'm one of those walks. And
Hmm.
for me, I'm like, okay, if I'm on first base, I'm either gonna be on second base or out. Because I'm like, there's no point to staying on first for me. And to be at 4 out of 5 steals feels extremely nice. Because I know that there are some people that started going like 0 for 4, and I was like, oh God, I hope that's not me. But just being able to, even with the how much MLR pitching is unique compared to when you first start out, being able to consistently be on base for me, I feel like that's my main thing that I wanted to continue, and I think for the most part I have. And I wanted to
Nice.
hit at least one home run because for I was like, oh God, I don't know with how far my DPA has been per pitch. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna hit a home run. But my MLN teammate was who came into pitch was very gracious and accidentally gave up a 12 diff home run. But yeah,
Nice.
I think just remaining consistent as like once I found my footing and just staying there, I feel like that was my main thing I wanted to accomplish.
speaking of causing chaos on the base paths, we should shout it out that the 3 hitters here all have 4 steals, which is all puts us in the top 10.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Got some
Yeah,
speed.
we got the zoomies.
I switched off of the speedy batting type. I don't know. I think we've talked about that a little bit, like in our Discord chat. But
Are you a
I have
sag master?
no, I'm basic power now, but I
Ah,
have more home runs as speedy than I do as basic power
that's really funny.
because I had that 2 home run game uh before the midpoint of the season, and then I switched to basic power, and I've only hit one since then. I've hit one or two in the minor leagues though.
Let's
Very
say
nice.
we could just say that all your home runs were inside the park
Yeah,
home
inside the
runs.
park home runs. So yeah, no, I've had I was I feel like I've been very streaky. Like I started the season with just terrible like at bats, and then I had a lot of really good at bats in a short period of time, and then I'm on a bit of a cold streak again.
Yeah, it does feel it. It's the streaks that real baseball players get. It almost feels like that here, even though it's like nowhere comparable based on like physical skill versus trying to scout a number. But like when you get hot in MLR, you get hot
Yeah,
for a
I
I
think
mean, I
while.
think that there's some, mental skill involved that can take some momentum from doing well. Okay, I'm gonna, apply these same techniques next time I scout, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know that every pitcher considers, what team they're pitching against and like what batter they're pitching against. But, if you know that somebody is, really hot right now, you might put a little bit more consideration into what you're pitching them.
Yeah.
I think about that every time I am scouting, and maybe that's what's making me hit worse, is considering like, well, maybe they wouldn't go here because that's what all the data says. But I don't know. It's sometimes they do pitch to the data, and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. Plus, I think there's more similarities than you give credit for total between MLB and MLR.
They're
It's like when you
yeah.
get hot, you gain confidence, and when you're confident, you're gonna do better.
Yeah. That is true.
Uh, so I guess I'll go next, seeing as how Copernicus isn't showing up right now. But so when the season started, my goal was to be one of the strikeout leaders in the league, and that has not gone well. Oh, Copernicus
Oh
We
my
shows
were
up.
god.
just talking
Perfect
shit.
timing.
Speak of the
I
literal devil.
I had to talk about it for him to show up,
Oh,
and he's gone.
He's gone.
he knew we were talking. Now he's got to fix his microphone.
Yeah.
I'll have to tell
Uh,
you about Cat's magical powers of complaint when we're done. When you're
okay.
done talking about this.
So yeah, starting the league, my goal was to be a strikeout leader, and at this point in the season, I have no idea where I am in that. I even changed my pitcher type just because things were not going well. So now my new goal is to get one win this season. If I can get one win
Yeah.
this season,
Let's go.
I will be happy. Uh, but outside of the game and stats, honestly, being a part of this podcast, I've wanted to be in a podcast for many, many years. And so when this opportunity came up, I knew I had to push for it. And I'm just pretty glad that we're all here and doing it. And even though it hasn't been like consistently on schedule, I don't even think that matters.
What's a schedule?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
having fun with this.
It's been
Yeah.
awesome.
Speaking of
DVD, I can't.
schedule,
DVD, I can't believe that you've never been on a podcast before.
I've been invited to one, and before the first episode, the whole thing fell apart.
That's
Nice.
how they usually go. Or they get one episode in and then they just stop.
Yep. But I've been told by many people, like, oh, you'd be great on a podcast. You love hearing yourself talk. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true.
And everybody else loves hearing you talk. So
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. So aside from that, also just a lot like what Leo said, which is just getting integrated into the community, making friends, hanging out, having a good time. So, are you there, Copernicus?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So, you missed the introduction, but my topic
Super
today
cool.
is, let me ask you a question. What, to this point in the season, do you feel like your biggest accomplishment has been in fake baseball? And by the end of the season, which is rapidly approaching, what do you hope to have accomplished overall for the year?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think that I think that there's a couple of answers. The competitive part of me is, the scoreboard brain is like, I've been doing pretty good. I think I could probably safely say, as the last time I pitched, I think I'm one of the top 10 pitchers in MLR, which up to that point in the season. It doesn't count now because I haven't pitched, so I'm just talking about the last time I pitched. And I was very excited about that. I tried a lot, I tried hard. Obviously, you guys have been with me and seeing especially how I wanted to come back. I was really proud of that, and that's just the competitive side of me being proud of that. I really enjoy going and seeing my name on a leaderboard. It's something I've always been into, and I don't know. I feel like I tried, and so it's not one of those things that came easy. So that was cool, very cool for me. I threw a one hitter, which I was so pumped about. I was too excited about it. I was more excited about it than I think somebody should be. Probably, I was embarrassed by how excited I was. Honestly, you could if you were in the Tampa Bay Rays, I threw like this fucking fit of happiness. I was embarrassed by it, but also I'm like, shouldn't be embarrassed by being happy about something. Otherwise, I think that's sort of the the boring answer. But I think the real answer is I do like that I've got a group that I can come in and talk to. You guys are great. The Rays. I said this last time we talked about our clubhouses, but the Rays are they're so good. Like I'm so happy I joined them. They've been very supportive, very understanding. I can nerd out. I can be in a bad mood. I'm excited that I've been able to connect with other people over something that is both not important at all and sometimes too important. And that's also including you guys. This has been great. I mean, we haven't. I think I've been a little AWOL recently because I've been trying to do my job thing, and
Yeah, you've
I
been
also
busy.
a
Yeah.
little bit my freelance stuff. Randomly, all of a sudden, I got a bunch of clients, and now I don't even have time to sit and think about talking to people very often. And so I felt a little bit bad about that because I feel like it's I feel like I've not been as good of a top fiver as you guys have. So um, I've been hard on myself about that. But yeah, those are my answers.
I
I
think
mean, we've
you've
all
been
been.
fine. Yeah, like
Yeah,
Okay.
life
we've
has
all
to
had
come
stuff.
first.
I
Yeah, and
just
I'm
realized that I forgot to answer like the second part of the question. Sorry. Go
I
ahead and
think
finish,
That's okay.
Marcus.
all
Go
of
ahead.
us did.
Round two.
I don't remember what it was. What was the second part?
What do you hope to have accomplished by the end of the season?
Oh, Toronto's
Oh,
going to win the paper cup. So there's that.
wow.
I don't know.
CJ's got his down. Um, I hope that because for the MILR stuff, Mark has from the start gave me full reign of our team. Just because I was like, yeah, I want to already like practice being a GM and see if it's something I could do. And he was like, I've been a MILR GM so many times, so if you need help, I'll step in. But otherwise, you can do what you want. Even though we are already eliminated from the Styrofoam Cup, um, I do hope that everyone on my team did have a fun time on our team. Which by the amount of pings you guys see for my team, even when the games aren't going on, I feel like everyone's enjoying it at least somewhat.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of awfully quiet this
Oh,
session.
it's so fun.
Well, it didn't help that for one, I was drunken in New York for like the entire game. And then because like yeah, because while the game was going on, I was gone like the entire time. And we didn't have much to cheer about, so that didn't help either. Thanks a lot, CJ.
Yeah, it should be noted. So when a month from now, when this comes out, I just two-hit their team.
Yeah,
I
it was
won't
a
take
rough
too
one.
long to edit this. I've got time. It's just been hectic.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope that they did all enjoy it, and if I'm ever in MILR GM again, I may or may not bring some of them back on my team.
May or may not. It's up for
Yeah.
May-
debate.
Did you guys have fun during the All-Star break?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time.
I
never
don't.
got to
GMing
sign
Team
up for
USA was way harder than I thought it would be, but it
That
was
stuff.
fun.
Yeah.
And I apologize to anyone on Team USA if I did not manage to get you an at bat or an inning pitched. I'm sorry.
My first thing you said to me was, "Hey, are you okay if you get cut from the team?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." I was in like 4 or 5 games, and I do not like to swing on vibes at all. And every game is just okay. We're not gonna scout, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
Mhm.
I felt so. I don't think I got. I think the only hit I got was in the chaos game, which was a strikeout that turned into an RBI base hit. So I I feel like I will sign up for less All-Star games next time because I was just way too much.
Yeah, it
We,
was
I,
fun. But Dayman came to me. He was like, "You have too many players on your team. That's our fault. But you're breaking the sheet, so you have to cut like 3 or 4 people." And I was like, I know I can ask Total because he'll be fine with it if I do have to cut him.
I should have said no. I really thought about
No.
being like,
Like-
Dan, this is the only game I'm in. Please, I beg. Which wouldn't make sense because we were on another team too. But
I'm very patriotic.
please, I need this win.
I didn't sign
No,
up for
but it
anything because I was not paying attention because of the aforementioned busyness, and so I was
Mhm.
sad to be watching everybody else have so much fun. But it was really cool to see everybody having fun.
I feel like my favorite part was to watch the 40+ runs in the Boomers versus
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
game.
Had so much
Mhm.
fun being a
Fucking
part of
funny.
that.
That was.
Go Boomers.
I just liked the repost if you beat children thing.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard every time that showed up. Who else still needs to talk about what they're hopeful for by the end of the season?
I can go. I want to make the playoffs, but also I want to have ideally like the most RBIs. Maybe I'll put a qualifier on that. Most RBIs of players with less than like I don't know 5 or 10 home runs or whatever. Because there are some people that I'm never gonna catch up to just because they have like a bajillion home runs. But I've been hoarding RBIs on the Marlins. I definitely have the most on my team, but I would like to be one of the league leaders in RBIs.
You're
Do
probably
great.
on the top 10 RBI list for sure, right?
I don't
He's
quite know where to
definitely
check that.
he's
Have it
number
open.
4 or 5.
Goodness.
Oh, really?
Because it
Okay,
goes
cool.
what? It's probably going to be 16-bit is one, is my guess.
It's
2.
Cornbread,
Two.
Cornbread 16-bit, Charles Vella,
Okay.
Gerald McCoy.
I knew it was Cornbread. Holy
Yeah,
shit. That guy does not get enough
Cornbread.
at bats, but holy cow, does he just hit homers. We talk
He
about
literally
him
only hits home
in
runs.
We talk about
It's
him in
ridiculous.
Boise State chat all the time because it's like every time we look, he has hit another home run.
It is insane what he does.
He's got 9 this season. That's ridiculous.
That's
It's
insane.
terrifying.
I think he
It
only
is.
has like, I think he has 10 hits. I think maybe 11 hits, and they're almost all home runs.
Yeah, almost all. Yeah, he posted it on our chat. He said, "I am 2 home runs away from tying the league record for homers," and that was
Oh
on
my
the
God.
10th. So it was this session. Yeah, he's insane.
He's it's funny because he's not in the top 10 hitter war plus anyway, which is ridiculous to me because I'm like, what are these other people doing?
They
Well,
get nor
he
he doesn't
also-
get put in every game for whatever reason. The Yankees don't have him playing every game. He does not have that many at bats.
Real
I
smart
thought
Yankees.
I thought he did have a bunch of bats.
You would
might-
think.
I might just be stupid.
He's got the most home runs, most runs scored, most RBI. So he's
Well,
making the
he-
most of his time.
Of course, he has the most runs scored. He's scoring himself every other at bat.
Every other bet. He's got 41 total bases. He's tied with Griffith Lindley, who I don't know who that is.
Who?
Oh,
Griffith
now
Lindley-
he has at bats. He didn't before. He's at 40 at bats now.
He has 4. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay.
He was not getting at bats before. I promise you that. I checked and I posted in the Boise chat. I was like, what are they doing? Like, what? That was when he had 5 home runs.
Well, I think he got 5 home runs within like the first 4 games or something insane.
He's one of the people to hit a home run off me and pisses me off. I have
Eh,
similar goals. By the way, I would like to. One, I want the Rays to be in the playoffs, which I think we're very close. We're like one of the top two teams in the AL, which is really great. Um, the other thing, I think I mentioned this in our chat, but I would like to be. At first, I was like, I would like to be AL Rookie of the Year. One, I don't know. I think I have a shot, but I don't want to rely on other people's votes, and also I think there are other people that are probably going to get it, but I don't think I'm out of the running. But what I would like is to have at least the top the top PWAR among rookies in the AL. So I think I'm competing right now with Makoto Date,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise it's pretty big difference. But that way I can at least control that myself to the extent that I can control my pitching. One of the things that was pretty surprising is not making the All Star game, but I think that since the one hitter I was throwing was during the game, it didn't count all those great stats on there, so it made sense. But that was then I was like, yeah, I can't rely on voters. So I would like to be the top, if not the top one, at least in the top three rookie pitchers, and then hopefully in the top 25 regular pitchers by Raj War anyway. And I would like to be
Uh,
on all the fucking pitching leaderboards. If in the top, if you go to the sheet, it gives you like 20 players per stat. And I'd like to be on all of them for pitchers. It's a lot of goals.
So my pitching stats this year so far is 0 wins, 3 losses, 4 starts, 20.1 innings pitched, 95 batters faced, 18 earned runs,
oh
5.311 ERA, a
I know.
1.82 whip, and my PWAR is 0.461.
Hey, it's positive, baby.
So, like
yeah,
I
at least
said,
it's positive.
my goal for the end of the year is to get 1 win.
Uh,
Should be achievable.
I
It
need
Hey,
to
throwing
does.
you against.
clarify real quick. I think Cornbread has actually started just about every game. I was thinking of Murphy Bristlefields, who also
Mm,
has some home run hitting power, but has not started that frequently.
I
it's
think Murphy is.
the entire rookie pitcher war stuff is funny, Copernicus, because the one you're competing against, I believe he was the last. He was on UNA. I think he was the last pitcher taken in the entire draft, and we were
Yeah,
Data,
no,
yeah, I was
yeah
shocked that it
we
took so long
were
to draft him.
we were all like, how is he still here? He was
Yeah.
he just because he didn't talk that much, but he always pitched extremely fast the entire time.
Yeah, he's pretty incredible. I've been watching his. This is so nerdy as fuck. I watch every one of his games, just to see how would I have done this? How would I? I do that with
I'm
the
always
Dodgers.
behind
I
home
watch.
every time he's on the mound.
I watch every Mark game. I watch every Joel game. I watch Makoto's games. I watch if they're pitching. I'm watching every at bat just when I can, just to see how I would pitch in the same way. But it's you can't do it because they're not scouting me. So you can never have a good shadow ball that way. But I'm very interested, and I think Makoto is really incredible. I do have idols in fake baseball, and I think it's super super nerdy, and I hate myself for it.
I don't
It's
I
pretty
think
funny.
that's awesome.
So, I mean, I have DM'd pitchers that I idolize in the league and asked them for advice. So you're not the only one.
Good. I'm glad to hear it because it made me feel weird. I told you. I think I mentioned this story when Tap and I had that one hitter face off duel. I I I actually DM'd Tap like before I got drafted, and I was like, "Teach me how to pitch." Like it was a real thing, and then like pitching against him, it was a really exciting moment. But I did that with a couple of pitchers, and there's that.
Excuse you.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's
And
important
that's
to
the end
get
of our
perspective.
podcast now.
Definitely leave that in.
I did not realize it was going to be that loud.
I'm base boosting that one. All right, what were we saying? Sorry, I ruined it.
Derailed the whole thing.
Jesus Christ, yeah. Oh, what are you asking, Dan? Like when you does anybody else do that, by the way? After Dan answers?
What do we send stuff to guys that bet?
Yeah, yeah. Total, I know you must have, right? You.
I hate everyone in this league. No. I I mean, I talked when it was much more of a starter thing for me when I
Uh,
was first starting out. I would talk to Uga about swings in certain scenarios. Um, just now, the minor league for MLN got done, and I was one of the GMs. And I had a player on my team that went second overall. That he was asking me stuff all the time about swings, and I was like, I was like, do I show him my like 250 average and go, hey, you might want to ask someone else. Um, but I don't think there's a lot of people that I reach out to because I don't being involved in so much stuff. I find I don't have the time to look at other games and see what's going on. I will applaud someone on the opposing team if they're having a very good game, and I can kind of more see of what they're trying to look for in the scouting room on my own. But I don't know. I don't reach out to people much anymore. I did earlier on, but not now.
I don't do it anymore either, but it was that early on thing. I think people should feel comfortable
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah. I feel like yeah, because I mean, it's not like it. I don't know. It's a learning experience when you're first starting out, which is like for me, like when I was seeing guys bad and I was like or I was like I started like 1 for 10. I'm like, hey, what should I change? Because I see
Yeah.
you're batting well. I think I talked to Chalk some, um, when he went on that tear at the start. But that's probably the
S-
last time I've done
s-
anything.
So I won't say who the person was just because they may not want me to, but the question that I asked them, I just reached out to them, like cold call them. I said, "Hey, you're a great pitcher. Any tips? I've been trying all kinds of stuff, but I always get rocked. What's the trick? What's the secret sauce?" And then that just sort of sparked a discussion about not specifically their formula or what they
I,
do, but
I know who it was.
oh, do you?
Yeah.
This is so awkward. You guys are like, "Who have you been talking to? What did they say? Why were you talking to them?"
So, so question for Copernicus, real fast. What did you tell Dan when when he said that to you?
He wishes.
Yeah, I was like, "Please, Dan, let me help." No, I don't know what I would say to Dan. I don't. Nothing. I would not presume to know more than Dan about anything. So.
Uh, just in a lot of like self-reflection on pitching and stuff, it's just like I was getting too bogged down by certain things. So, um, hopefully, whenever this next outing is, will be better.
Oh
It's just,
shit. Very off topic. My friend's child was born at 5:45, 7 pounds 9 ounces.
oh,
Wow.
congratulations,
Hell yeah,
Total's
that's a hefty
friend.
baseball bat.
Yeah, that is pretty hefty.
Congrats. Coleslaw, who did you talk to, or did you just fucking decide to just dominate and do it?
Um,
He
I
just made up
didn't.
his mind. That
I
was
mean,
it.
I talked to people on my team mostly about scouting. I did DM Peach a couple times about some questions I had about the Peach sheet and some bugs that I found in the Peach sheet.
Uh-huh.
Um, that she then was able to fix. Um, and I had applied like a workaround by the time I sent that, but I figured that she ought to know so that she could fix it on her version of the sheet and send out maybe an update to teams that were using it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I haven't really reached out to people a lot about like uh how to play fake baseball, I guess. I've like DM'd people about some other things. Like I sent Dayman and Chalk some postcards from Japan when I was back in the States in May. And like I, asked them like, where do you want it sent, etc. But I guess I haven't really DM'd people a lot about like scouting or anything.
Crazy. CJ?
Oh, I'm raw dogging the league.
Oh,
I didn't message anybody.
CJ's like, nobody can say anything to me.
CJ's going in raw whenever he's at bat.
Dope.
That
You
was
also
such a
had-
good way. Can that be what the episode's called?
I also
CJ's raw dogging the league.
Raw
Yeah.
dogging the league.
Raw dog.
I think we should name it that, but also it doesn't have to do with DVD's topic, and I feel a little bad.
I don't know if many things have done with the topics.
Oh,
Other
we
than,
answered
like
the
the first
questions.
episode. Don't we
Okay.
have an episode called the DVD's gambling addiction where there's like
Oh,
one small
you
thing
know-
he talked about?
You're right. You're right. All right. Well, that's the
Anyway.
name of the episode.
Cool.
I just counted. I have DM directly with over 70 people in the league.
Jesus, how do you have the time?
Moly.
I have.
That's-
oh god. I
That's
should
going
count.
back all the way back to like, the college season, and it's
Okay.
not
Still.
constant. It's not constant. Like some of them
I'm
were
gonna
just
count.
one-off questions and stuff.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
count.
on 70, at least 70 different people I have DM'd for various questions, reasons, outside, inside the league, nonsense, fun sense, that sort of stuff.
Total, your count has to be just considering all the things you're involved in.
I know.
While you're counting, you said something earlier where you were like, "I don't have time to watch all the games." I do. I would applaud you, Total, just because you are doing so much for the league. And I thought that I was going to be doing what you were doing when I started. I was like, I really want to invest time in this. Now, life changed for me, but you are doing so much. And I think you're doing a lot of good for a lot of people. And I don't know if people give you credit yet for that. So that's a tip of my hat to you.
Thank you. I mean, I'm fine without the credit. Oh shit, did I lose count? No, I'm good.
Got 'em.
I
15, 21.
no,
7,
oh god.
4.
I mean, I'm really because like I'm trying. I've turned more into a clubhouse person than in the main server because that's where I feel like I need to spend or I want to spend most of my time. But like even if because I mean I get shit on by my own teammates all the time, so in like every league, which for me I'm like I feel like that's kind of their way of to show me endearment, or everyone just really does not enjoy me on their team. But
Why do you think that?
what? No, it's a joke. I know that.
Oh,
it's-
okay. I was like, I think everybody loves you. Yeah.
No, like John McDonald will just shit on me all the time, but then like we'll talk in DMs and it's fine.
Okay, pause. Cole, do you have to go?
No,
Okay. I know it's early morning for you. I don't know if you had to go to work or something. Feels usually
no,
around this time.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm trying to get done with my counting. Okay, I'm done. We
What's your
have
total?
we have 98 separate
Oh my
DMs
God.
to players.
You couldn't get to 100, you lazy piece of shit.
No, I know I couldn't. We have, and that's not counting MLN or those side leagues I'm in.
I was
Yeah,
hoping
but
you were
there's
counting.
overlap, right? So
Well,
you're in.
there is.
How do you know
oh,
there's no overlap? Because
No. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
saying
I
the
know
ones
because
that I
I'm not
know.
in MLN.
Well, I'm
but-
saying the ones that I know where I'm like, okay, I did not talk to them about MLN stuff, or they started out with MLR, like
Okay.
I can
okay.
tell which ones because like depending on the team, I
Hmm.
know which ones are which.
I have
So yeah,
only 31
let's
DMs
go.
with MLR people.
People are crazy.
Well, a lot of those were scouts.
Yeah,
Wow, brag.
I I didn't talk to that many scouts. Like I talked to a handful,
Because
but
everybody knew St. Louis was taking you.
yeah.
You
Okay,
remember
I guess I
my
wasn't counting scouts, so you can count like the 5 scouts that talked to me.
I talked to one scout, so pretty
I
excited.
talked to so many. I don't want to go back. It was too much.
I think the only
I
person I talked to that reached out to me was Penguin, and it was like, "Hey, we're gonna take you in the third round if nobody else does." And I was like, "Oh,
Fucking
cool, thanks."
Penguino.
Yeah,
Fucking
Yeah, I know,
Penguino.
right?
It's so goddamn funny.
the Pirates want you in the third round, cop. Oh, okay.
Thank God. Well, do we have anything else we need to talk about?
Sorry I was late,
go.
guys. I got caught up in work.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
you're
you're
good.
fine, dude.
Work is
Unacceptable.
important.
I know.
You
yeah.
actually showed up, so
Actually,
that's
Yeah.
a
I'm on
bonus.
CJ's side. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Look, I ask myself
I
that
have
every
James'
day.
sides.
All right, boys.
So there is just one more thing I'd like to say, and go Cardinals.
St. Louis Cardinals,
Which Cardinals?
Arizona?
Arizona Cardinals?
Arizona. I hope you're talking about the Arizona or the Stanford Cardinals.
The
North American
MLR
Cardinals?
Cardinals.
Oh, cool. Go Cardinals.
Yeah,
We
I knew.
we kind of needed you to lose after getting trounced in the bottom of the sixth or whatever it was.
We kind
My-
of need to win every single remaining game.
Kind of needed you to not
Same
hit
with
2
my
last
team.
out home runs.
Yeah, we have. There's a chance we're gonna go 5-8 at the end of this session, and that would not be ideal for us. But
What
I need you to
is-
win so we're tied for the playoff spot.
yeah,
How many games are there?
16.
I'm a pretty good MLR guy. I know everything about it.
We only have. There will only be 3 games left once this session is done.
Yep.
And then it'll be playoffs and college season.
Oh
Well,
God.
I can't wait for college.
Somebody better help Tomas with the recruiting because that cannot be his job.
Total and I
I-
are on board for that.
Yeah,
He needs a
we're
break.
gonna be helping
I'm
him
willing to
out.
bet that Dayman and Stupido will have a good plan for recruiting.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I let them know that if they need anything to just holler. Happy to help.
Help, DVD, help! I'm hollering.
Oh, that was
What
good.
do you
holler.
need help with?
I don't know. A lot of things.
Just life.
Same.
Just life
Same.
right now, man.
Just holler.
That's a long way, Cole.
Yeah.
You're really far away. Well, next episode will be our question from Copernicus.
Okay, we got to see if I remember it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have it written down
we
anywhere?
talked about it like 4 months ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did do this at some point. The
At
question
some
will
point.
be:
I know you
is
did.
Copernicus going to remember? So, yeah, yes or no
And
question.
then-
Pretty short episode.
And then once that's done, maybe we could get questions from our viewers, or we can get people on the podcast.
Oh, I'd love to get people on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Well-
kind of a top 5 thing?
Yeah,
It's a
but
derivative.
they
Derivative.
don't have everyone
bullshit.
on the podcast.
Derivative.
It's not like we need to do it every single time. But
I guess, yeah.
well, cool. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, and just remember, when you're down and troubled and you need some love and care and nothing nothing is going right.
We're
Close
cutting this,
your
right?
eyes and
We're
think
cutting it
of
halfway
me,
through.
and soon I will be
There you go. Okay, cut.
there.
I'm just gonna like fade it out.
Yeah, that's the fade out button at the very end.